Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Ugly Girl. I hope you are all having a very wonderful day. Today, I would like to talk about dating when you're ugly. There is a myth that people who are unattractive cannot ever have a romantic relationship, or they should be grateful for any attention that they get, and they they don't have the right to refuse anyone. And they have to be you're always expected to be very humble, not only about dating, but about everything. I once had a job where two of my fellow employees asked me if I'd ever had a boyfriend. They asked me this on the very first day of the job, which gives you an idea of how comfortable people are discriminating against us. You can have boyfriends and relationships when you're considered ugly. You can even have just as many boyfriends as a pretty girl would. But the quality will probably not be the same. If you're attractive, you'll go on many dates with many different types of people. You'll kiss a lot of frogs until you meet your prince, as you say, or your princess, if that's your preference. If you're considered ugly, you're expected to take what you can get. I personally have had a few relationships in my life, but mostly I've been alone, and that's because I don't want to take what I can get. Many years of bitter experience has taught me that there are three basic types of men who you'll have to choose from when you are considered homely: the bumpkin, the loser, and the horndog. The bumpkin is, of course, a country bumpkin. He'll normally be a conservative Republican who goes to church every Sunday. He'll want you to bear his children and cook his meals, or cook his children and bear his meals, depending on the denomination he's in. Now, he'll tell you he has feelings for you approximately 15 minutes after he meets you. This is because no one who has a choice would ever choose a bumpkin. However, if you're incredibly desperate and you feel that you absolutely must be in a relationship, he'll probably let you stay home and take care of the kids and the house while he goes to work, so there's that. And he probably won't cheat on you, and if it does, it doesn't matter. Now, the loser is a guy who can't get a girlfriend because he probably doesn't have a job, or he has a shitty job, or lives with his parents. He's normally unbelievably arrogant, and he'll probably emotionally abuse you. If he does get a job, or if anything ever goes his way, like he has any success at all, he'll become incredibly arrogant. Have fun with that. Now, the horn dog is just like it sounds, a man who just wants to have sex. If you're considered ugly, he'll simply just tell you that he wants to have sex with you. He'll kind of act like he's doing you a favor. If you're attractive, he'll tell you a bunch of lies to get you into bed. As I am afraid of disease and I am allergic to cliches, I have always gone with a loser. It's just as delightful as it sounds. But like I say, I've mostly been alone most of my life. When it comes to this particular area of life, I've always considered myself rather lucky. I've only had a few relationships. They've all been terrible, but I know pretty girls who have had exclusively terrible relationships, and they've had a lot more of them. In many cases, I've been pursued by men who I would never consider touching with a 10-foot pole or ever consider dating, and I can only imagine that girls who are considered good-looking would have this happen to them much more. I'm like a cisgender heterosexual female, so I feel like I can only speak to relationships with guys, I guess. I've been sexually assaulted and harassed, and I'm sure that pretty girls get that even more often. I think pretty girls get treated better at first, and men have a tendency to be proud to be seen with them, where men will tend to hide a relationship with a girl who's considered ugly. So, thank you for listening, and it would be nice if you could like or subscribe to this if you're watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.